Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I'm going to be giving you my review for WWE Monday Night Raw and NWA Power Day 1 of the Crockett Cup. It's no AEW Dynamite this week because I was hosting some family members, so did not get a chance to watch Dynamite, but I will review Raw and Power all the same. So let's sit back, relax, get yourself your favorite beverage, and let's do this. So we start off with Monday Night Raw. We get another 10-bell salute and a Hulk Hogan video tribute, in which I think it was different from the one from SmackDown. I'm not 100% sure on that. So that was nice and cute, I guess. Sorry about this. And we start off Raw proper with a Jey Uso promo, or so we thought. But before he can get the microphone up, out comes Paul Heyman. No Bronson Reed, no Braun Breaker, just Paul Heyman. And before he can even get his stuff in, like, my name is... the crowd starts booing the heck out of him, in which, yeah, that's very good. So, Paul replies, my name is a boo. My name is Paul Heyman. And he walks up closer to the ring. He says, I didn't come out here to be disrespectful to you, Jay. But tonight, you're in the main event versus Bronson Reed. I've come out here to speak man to man and speak from the heart. Looks like for a second he's about to get in the ring. Then he sees Jay what looks like he's about to jump him. Then he takes one step out of the ring, goes to the bottom of the ramp. So he's going to talk there. So Heyman continues, I wanted to talk about family. And I see that look in your eye. I've seen it before. And Roman isn't out here. I can't believe you accepted to team with Roman versus Reed and Breaker at SummerSlam. But as you know, family is always going to let you down. You can't always trust the process. It's not a prediction. It's a prophecy, which is a play on, it's not a prediction, it's a spoiler catchphrase Paul Heyman does. So Heyman continues, I'm going to lay this on you. When you were a kid, Mom told you Santa left presents under the tree at Christmas. Your mother lied, in which my eyes went bug-eyed at that, saying, Paulie, kids are watching this. What are you doing? He continues. Did your father tell you he wanted you to be more iconic than he was? Jey Uso's father is Rikishi, if you didn't know. So, kind of fourth generation superstar? I don't know. Heyman continues, your father once again lied to you. And when Roman Reigns picked the next in line to be tribal chief, he didn't pick you, he picked Solo. And I tell you, you would have been the better chief, but Roman lies to you too. And I'm not saying this out of anger. Jey Uso, I love you. Just like family. So, Paul Heyman goes to leave. Jey Uso finally picks up the mic, says, family was why I'm here. You're gonna keep running your mouth. I'm gonna slap the taste out of it. I'm gonna pick family every time because the bloodline is stronger than water. And you're out here disrespecting me? No, OG. I went on my own. I did it for myself. It's family. But where's your family? I'm gonna bust your ass as soon as you walked in. You screwed us at WrestleMania. And what happens tonight on SummerSlam is on your ass. So, definitely some strong words being exchanged. This didn't feel like it was the, hype up thing to do before SummerSlam. I don't know, I pictured something different happening. I'm not sure what, though. Anyway, we go to our first matchup of the evening. Nice quick promo to open it up, as we got a 6-person mixed tag, which is very interesting. So we got AJ Styles teaming with Asuka and Kairi Sane of the Kabuki Warriors, teaming up to take on Dominic Mysterio, Raquel Rodriguez, and Roxanne Perez of the Judgment Day. And before the bell, Dom gets a cheap shot on AJ. Looked like AJ and Dom were about to start it. Dom tags in Raquel, which means automatically AJ is out. One of the women are in. So Asuka gets in, and yeah, these two have some really, really good chemistry. And I'm going to say this. I'm going to keep saying this. Raquel Rodriguez is, I think, one of my most improved wrestlers this year. Like, she is doing so well. Eventually, Perez does tag in. Raquel with a fallaway slam. And then Perez with a big splash only gets a 2 count. Asuka gets some really good stuff in, including a sliding elbow from Kairi Sane, in which Dom actually moves Perez out of the way, and Sane hits her elbow into the turnbuckle. At one point we see Kairi hit a spear, and it looked like she was about to tag in Asuka, but Raquel pulls her off the ringside and just chucks her into the guardrail. Raquel with a big power slam. Perez with a moonsault, in which that's a hell of a good combination and needs to be their finisher going forward. And it needs a name. That combination needs a name. That gets a 2 count, obviously. Raquel eventually tags back in. It goes for a power slam. That gets blocked. Goes for a shoulder in the corner. That misses. Kairi eventually tags in AJ, which means Dom has to come in. AJ with some clotheslines, an elbow. Goes for the phenomenal forearm, but Roxanne Perez shields Dom from it. Which, that was definitely crazy. Dom goes for a clothesline. That misses. AJ with a Pele kick. Sane with a Rana to Roxanne. And then Kairi with the insane elbow drop to the outside onto the other women. AJ with the phenomenal forearm to pick up the win for he and the Kabuki Warriors. Which makes me thinking AJ isn't going to win on Sunday. So, we'll see how that works out. We then get a highlight reel of Sheamus versus Rusev last week, which was a lot of fun. Then we go backstage for a Sheamus interview, where he's saying to the interviewer, last week was an old school banger. But before he can say anything else, Grayson Waller and the New Day walk up to him, with Waller saying, "Look, I've been feeling different since ditching Steel Theory, but why are you still looking at my nether regions?" So Sheamus kind of looks up here, asks, "You want to fight?" Waller gets in his face, "Maybe I do." And then Sheamus pretty much finishes up a down under bloke looking for a banger beat down. "You're on." So Sheamus walks off. Waller then looks back for the New Day. They've pretty much disappeared. So it looks like Waller is all on his own for our next matchup. Sheamus versus Grayson Waller. And I'm going to say this. I forgot how good Grayson Waller is in the ring. Like, is he a technical master class? Like maybe a Daniel Bryan? Absolutely not. However, he did keep up with Sheamus, in which, I mean, that's not too hard. So definitely a lot going on. At one point we see Grayson Waller goes for his rolling flatliner, which was originally a stunner. But Sheamus intercepts it with a big knee. Sheamus with a crazy DDT on the apron. Finally gets the 10 beats of the battery. He's all set up for the bro kick. But out comes Rusev to distract Sheamus. Waller with the roll up for a 2. Right into the bro kick for the win for Sheamus. In post-match, Rusev attacks Sheamus with his shillelagh, but eventually locks in the Acolyte. We see the official who officiated the match calling for more officials, and they eventually break Rusev off of Sheamus. So this feud definitely isn't done. I would have thought we would have seen that match with a stipulation at SummerSlam, but I guess not. So anyway, we go back to the back. We get a Naomi interview in which she's looking awesome. So she says, "I'll tell you what, Rhea isn't the only one who's ready. Io isn't the only one who can fly high. I don't care who you throw at me. I'll take them all on and prove those haters wrong." Which, very, very nice little promo from Naomi. Then we get a little WWE Unreal sneak peek in which it's, backstage stuff. I haven't seen it yet. Maybe I'll watch it a little later on. Then we get a weird Hulk Hogan Superstar tribute, which it goes over his stats and stuff, which I thought was a little weird. So then we see Bronson Reed and Paul Heyman in the back, with Heyman saying to Reed, "I hear Jey Uso's family now with Seth out. You're nothing but a group without a leader." Then Breakker walks in, says to Reed, "We got this. You're going to destroy Jey Uso tonight, and we're going to take out Jey and Roman on Saturday." So Reed turns to Breakker, says, "I want to take Jey Uso down / out with a tsunami." So Reed walks off. Breakker turns to Heyman, says, "Don't worry, I have a plan." So it does look like Braun Breakker is becoming the kind of interim leader of this group, which I think that's more than fine. So then we get an in-ring promo from Lyra Valkyria, who says, "We're 5 days away from SummerSlam, and these aren't just my blue shoes, they're my Becky Stompers," which Honestly, those were some nice looking high tops. I'm not gonna complain about that. She continues, I'll be winning back my women's Intercontinental Champion, or I won't be standing at all. Becky, you're gonna have to beat me into the ground to get rid of me. And I know Becky doesn't play by the rules, so let's try it her way. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking I'm playing right into her hand. But I know what she's capable of in these conditions. But I don't know what I'm capable of. And I'm prepared to go to a place I've never been to beat. And at that point, Becky Lynch's music hits. Lyra's looking right at the stage. At one point, and we don't even see her, Becky comes in through the crowd, goes under the ring, picks up a kendo stick. Her music's still playing. I guess Lyra saw the top of Becky's head at one point. So she turns around, hits a drop kick to the outside, picks up the kendo stick, and starts wailing on Becky Lynch. She gets Becky back into the ring, goes for Nightwing, but Becky bails out of the ring. You know what? I'm going to say this. That was a nice hype-up thing. We got a little physicality, and we got a little preview of what's going on for SummerSlam. So I will give those two some massive amount of credit. And plus, it wasn't a long promo / segment, so that's always nice. So then we go to a sit-down interview with Sami Zayn, which, I'm going to say this, I haven't seen one of these in a while. So this is a nice little change of pace from, just somewhere backstage. So Sami says, I just want to end this with Cross. I don't understand quite what he wants, but I'm going to reach my goal, and at SummerSlam, I put an end to this Cross nonsense. At that point, we see Cross and Scarlett come in. Cross taps the interviewer on the shoulder, says, I'll take it from here. So the interviewer leaves. Cross sits down right across from Sami. Looks like Sami was about to jump him. So Cross says, obviously I can't psych you out, but you're not going to be making it to SummerSlam. You're starting to doubt yourself. And after I win, you'll realize Cross told the truth. So then at that point, Scarlett hands Cross that pipe he's been using to attack Sami. Cross then tosses it across to Sami. Sami takes a look over it. Looks at Cross, says, you think you got me figured out? If you beat me at SummerSlam, I'll say whatever you want. But you're wrong about me. But when I beat you at SummerSlam, I want you to leave me the heck alone. So after that, Sami gets up, walks off, and then we see Cross and Scarlett smile at each other, and then right down the camera. So, yeah, that was definitely a little over dramatic for a match like this, but I dig it. We then get a Bayley backstage interview. They're out by the trucks, with Bayley saying, I've lost my opportunity at the Women's Intercontinental title, the World Heavyweight title. I already missed WrestleMania. Now I'm missing SummerSlam. For the first time in my career, I feel lost. Jeez, the character development. That was awesome. Little moments like these tend to build up well over time. Now, I'm not 100% sure what the end game for this is, but if it's a heel Bayley being champion again, I wouldn't say no. So next up, we got a little 8-woman tag team match playa. As we got Women's World Champion Naomi teaming with Chelsea Green, Alba Fire, and Piper Niven of the Secret Service to take on Nikki Bella, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Stephanie Vaquer. That's an all-star team right there. Like, god dang. Definitely an interesting little back and forth between all parties. At one point, they do eventually all get in and start brawling. Then a little later, we get a whole combination of a couple of things, including a code breaker, senton, fire with a swanton, couple of kicks, Niven with a boss man slam. They brawl around ringside for a little bit. To roll up attempt only for a 2. Nikki with a flapjack tags in Vaquer. Fire tags in Green. And Vaquer just goes off on board Chelsea Green. Hits the Devil's Kiss for a 2. Kick balls. What does that even mean? At one point, Chelsea Green is looking to tag out, but Naomi bails off the apron, grabs her women's title, goes to walk out, but Io gets her back in the ring. Vaquer with a big drop kick, then a clothesline by Niven, Rhea with a riptide to Green, big kick by Vaquer, and then an SVB driver to pick out the win for the baby faces. And honestly, I thought that was a really fun matchup. A nice little showcase for the contenders, for the future contenders, and for a Hall of Famer who, honestly, I don't mind her in this spot. Like, I'm not sure what the end game for Nikki Bella is either, but I'm willing to see it play out. We then see a video recap of the number 1 contenders tag title match from last week, in which the LWO won, which that was a big surprise. Then we see Judgment Day chilling back. Finn walks in saying, "Hey gang," they're all kind of treating their wounds. Everyone has an ice pack on or holding their head or whatever. Then Finn Balor and JD McDonough walk in saying, "Hey gang, chin up. It's not the end of the world. That was it. All these factions come and go, but the Judgment Day is still here. So why don't we go out there, you join us, and watch our backs." Dom kind of gets up, says, "AJ still messed me up." Then Roxanne gets up, says, "Look, I wanted to give you something." Opens it up. It's like a locket with Liv Morgan's face in it, which, that looks weird. So Dom lights up a little bit, says, "Look, I want to call her. Can we FaceTime her?" So that was a fun little moment for Dom. Then we see the winners of the previous 8-woman tag. They're in the back. They're kind of celebrating. They're jumping up and down. With Rhea saying, "Good job, everyone." Nikki and Vaquer walk off. Rhea was about to walk off screen. Io grabs her by the wrist. Rhea turns her around and says, "While we're friends for now, I'm going to get my title back." Io gets kind of a little bit in her face, says, "You never beat me, and you never will." Rhea then says, "We'll see about that." So we kind of got that rivalry still going on. We'll see what happens with Naomi. So, yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting time for SummerSlam. And next, we got the World Tag Team title match on the line, as we got Cruz del Toro and Joaquin Wilde taking on Finn Balor and JD McDonough of the Judgment Day. And I'm going to say this. Everyone looked really good in this match. This was a nice high-flying back and forth bout. Near the end, Cruz del Toro goes up for the Phoenix Splash. But El Grande Americano gets up on the apron to distract him. But Dragon Lee then comes out, brawls with Americano to the back of the ring. JD McDonough attempts a roll-up for a 2 count. Cruz with a super kick and an enziguri. Joaquin Wilde with a big dive to the outside to Finn Balor. And Cruz goes up for whatever move he's going for. Then another masked superstar comes out of the crowd. Looks like I'm going to say like a discount El Grande Americano. That's the best I can come up with. So he distracts Del Toro. Finn Balor knocks him off the top. Hits a coup de grace to win and retain their titles. Yeah, this whole El Grande Americano thing is getting stupid. I think we gotta do just the Spider-Man meme whenever Chad Gable comes back. Have everyone unmask and just let them go on with their respective careers as themselves, not as Americano. I'm a little disappointed no World Tag Team title match on SummerSlam. But at least we're getting a WWE Tag Team title match. Anyway, next up we got a Gunther in-ring promo. Gets in the ring, says, "Last week was a clean victory for me. I went toe-to-toe on the mic with the supposed best in the world, CM Punk. And I walked out, stood in front of him, and told him what was gonna happen at SummerSlam, and left him speechless. I'm not running out of..." Then we get a little small CM Punk chant, in which Gunther says, "I'm not running out of things to say about Punk. He doesn't deserve to call himself the best in the world, and I made Punk shut the hell up." At that point, CM Punk's music hits. He comes out, grabs a microphone, and says, "Speechless? No, more dumbfounded." In that moment, it dawned on me. You're standing in the ring. I'm going to be standing in the ring with a superstar such as you. But it also dawned on me, I don't want to be World Heavyweight Champion. I need to be World Heavyweight Champion. Like I need my heart to pump blood. Like the Red Wings need another Stanley Cup. They are in Detroit, so that gets a big hometown pop. Then this last one was a little interesting. Like a dad needs a frosty old style while mowing the lawn. So if you don't know, CM Punk is straight edge. So he doesn't drink alcohol, he doesn't use drugs. How the hell does he know what an old style tastes like? Like, if you want to know Punk, come hit me up. I got plenty of beers. So, anyway, Punk continues. I do have my addiction, and my addiction is pro wrestling. And I'm going to raise the title over my head as a thank you to the fans who chanted my name the last 10 years. This title might not mean anything to you, but it means the world to me. You say I don't deserve to call myself the best in the world. You're right. I earned it. And you are out here as arrogant as me, isn't apples to apples. Gunther looks like he's about to go to retort. Punk puts his hand on Gunther's microphone and he says, "I wasn't done. There's levels to this kid. And then you're going to learn a hard lesson at SummerSlam. You're not on my level. And on Saturday, I'm going to leave with the World Heavyweight title. And you'll know why, what it's like to share the ring with the one and only best in the world, CM Punk. My God, that was such a good promo from Punk. And Gunther definitely stood his ground, but that was the most CM Punk promo I think I've ever heard in a while. It was definitely good to hear. We then get a rundown of the SummerSlam card, which honestly looks like a banger of a weekend. Then we see a Jelly Roll teaser interview where that's going to happen on the pre-show of, I want to say it's Saturday, SummerSlam. So that should be pretty interesting. But now we get our main event of the evening, as it's Jey Uso taking on Bronson Reed. And Reed, for a long while, does dominate Jey Uso. Jey Uso, it does eventually fight back, especially after Reed misses on a senton. Jey with a super kick. Reed falls out of the ring. Jey Uso follows him with a dive. And as he's celebrating a little bit, Breakker runs down the ramp, sets it up, hits a spear on Jey Uso to throw out the match. And of course, the Bronsons are beating down on Jey Uso until that music hits. It's Roman Reigns coming out to make the save. He tries to Samoan drop Bronson Reed, but he's too dang big. Reed goes for a shoulder tackle, misses, falls out of the ring. Then Roman extends a hand to Jey, helps him up. Jey with a super kick to Breakker. Roman with a Superman punch to Reed. They both hit spears on their respective guy. But then Breakker and Reed fight back. Breakker with a spear to Roman and to Jey Uso. Sets them both up. Reed with a tsunami through both of them. Hits a clothesline off the apron. Then Braun carries Roman back to the ring. Another tsunami. Then Braun tosses Roman to the outside. Breakker then slips to the outside, lines him up, hits a spear through Jey and Roman through the barricade. And while the Brauns stand over Roman and Jey, Reed takes Roman Reigns' sneakers off and takes them for himself, which, honestly, that was pretty funny. I do wish this match had a clean finish, but it did its job to hype up this match for SummerSlam. And we'll see what happens to Roman's shoes. Maybe we'll get a Vince Russo special and we'll see, oh, it's Roman sneakers on a pole match or something. I don't know. Please don't do that, Triple H. That would be stupid. Anyway, yeah, that was Monday Night Raw. A kind of below average episode. Like, the wrestling itself was good. There was some good promos, but ultimately it didn't really do its job to hype me up for SummerSlam, which is, this show's job. So yeah, that was Raw. We now go to the return of NWA Power, and we got night 1 of the Crockett Cup. And honestly, I've been waiting for this. I love tag team wrestling. And then we get highlights first we get some highlights from previous year's Crockett Cups, including the Southern Six picking up the win last year. And then we go into our first bit of action, which is a battle royal to see who the number 12 seed is, who will go on to face BFT right after. So I am not going to go over everybody who's in this match. We got the Slime Balls in here. We got the Temple of Doom. We got Jack Vaughn in there, who that was a surprise to see. South Philly's Finest, Joe Cisco and someone else. Size Matters, Mr. Grimm and Moses, who I don't think I've ever seen team together. But eventual winners are the Slime Balls, who, as they're, celebrating, out comes BFT for this Crockett Cup match. And BFT pretty much destroy the Slime Balls before the bell rings. Eventually it does ring with Damage and Sage starting it off. And you see Sage has some taped up ribs. He is selling the gore from Rhino, in which, I forgot Rhino was NWA too. So, BFT are focusing on damaging Sage, but Sage eventually gets a big DDT, clothesline, chop combination. Damage was about to hit a power bomb that gets blocked into a roll up. For your winners, the Slime Balls. And then post match, you see Aaron Stevens, who was a little late to the action. He gets in the ring. He's arguing with the referee. He's kind of pushing him around. But then out comes Baron Von Storm, which is interesting. Locks in the Iron Claw into Stevens and just squeezes. Officials come out to break it up, but that fails. Then out comes Soda Pop, who I don't think had any association with Storm. He has that little toy globe that Storm covets. Storm lets go of the claw and receives the globe toy. So, that was definitely interesting. We then see the Lost, which is Crazy Steve, Lev, Alex Misery, and Gags the Gimp, along with Father James Mitchell. They're having a little hype up about their Crockett Cup matchup coming up. Then we get an interesting segment as we see the territory GMs. So like Kenzie Page, a couple other people, go into the new NWA Territory HQ, which is this 2-level building that looked like a Roy Rogers restaurant. I mean, if you don't know, then you know. We see the GMs walk into the building. Kenzie's kind of looking around, and she says, "Of course, Joe is making me wait. Can you believe him?" Joe is... Then we see not just Joe, but AJ and KC Kazana walking down the stairs from the second floor, saying Joe is the man of the people. And he says, "Welcome to NWA Territory HQ. And I'm doing nothing but bringing back the territories. And I'm glad you all noticed the reservations. Wait until you see my office," in which all the GMs go up to the second floor. Then we see a little Slime Balls promo. They're outside by whatever freeway they're out. with Sage starting off, "We are the Slime Balls. We're the next Crockett Cup winners. And we're going to take it all the way from the Battle Royal to the finals. And we're going to take the cup home to Slime Ball City. And it's not your time, it's slime time." Which, honestly, these two are absolutely fantastic. So next up, we got our next first round matchup of the Crockett Cup. As we have the Lost, which eventually is Alex Misery and Crazy Steve, taking on EC3 and Pretty Boy Smooth. And honestly, this match was pretty good. Like, everyone had some great chemistry. I forget if EC3 and Crazy Steve ever had a match in Impact/TNA. But it looks like they have some great chemistry together. Alex Misery just being a big ball of chaos was cool. And then Pretty Boy Smooth just being the absolute powerhouse that he is. One point, Crazy Steve hits a cannonball on EC3. Then Pastor CeeLo, who is the GM of EC3's promotion in the territories, goes up on the apron, but James Mitchell takes him off of it. EC3 attempts a roll-up for a 2 count. Steve and EC3 tag in their partners. They go at it for a little while, including an amazing dropkick by Pretty Boy Smooth. Then Pretty Boy Smooth with a penthouse bomb, which is a great name for a finisher, for the win for EC3 and Pretty Boy Smooth. So, yeah, that was a pretty entertaining little matchup. We'll see if EC3 and Pretty Boy Smooth can take it all the way. Then we get a little Carson Drake promo saying, "I'm wrestling for the title I never lost." Now, here's the thing. He was the former NWA Television Championship. And if you remember, there's a rule: if you successfully defend it 7 times, you can cash it in for a world title shot. I guess I missed that match because I don't remember him cashing in. But Drake continues. "So I'm going to show you why you can't beat me." We then get a nice little Rhino hype video, which that was really cool. We then get a Tom Latimer promo saying, "I've been doing this since I was 16 years old. I've taken the long road, but I finally grew up. And my wife had me realize, all of that had me realize what I wanted to be, the World Heavyweight Champion, and I'm proud of it." So no real setup for the next challenger, but I think that's going to be coming pretty soon. We then go back to the Territory HQ. Joe Kazana is drawing on and on about campaign promises, etc. Then we zoom in on Kenzie Page and another GM, I'm not sure who that is, with Kenzie complaining, "Has he been talking this entire time? He can't keep going like this." Then Kazana dismisses the other GMs. Then he turns to a glasses-wearing Tyler Franks, who has had at least a couple matches in the NWA so far. And he says, "This man belongs into the NWA. You're a KMW guy, but we need your support at the Crockett Cup. Will you give us the support we need?" We then see Franks kind of stroke his chin as it fades to black. So is Tyler Franks joining the Kazana boys? I guess we'll see. And then we get our main event of the evening, and it's for the NWA television title, which, if you remember, has been vacated due to Carson Drake enacting the Lucky 7 cash-in. So Idol definitely has advantage early on. Couple arm drags, an atomic drop. But then right in the middle of it, we get an ad break for a Kylie Page, Natalia Markova hype video, in which we come back, Carson Drake's on the outside, and he's just kind of circling the ring a couple times. Idol takes him out with a baseball slide, leans him against the guardrail for a couple of big chops, gets him back in. Drake with some knees, an uppercut, couple of strikes, ground and pound strikes for a 1 count. Drake with some chops, couple of clotheslines, big elbow for a 2 count. Idol goes for a moonsault that Drake gets his knees up. Drake then with a single stomp, but that only gets a 2. Hits a suplex for a 2 count. Goes for the suplex again, but Idol blocks it. Hits a neck breaker for a 2. Idol then looks to lock in the figure 4, but Drake blocks it, rolls him up for a 2 count. Drake with a big boot for a 2. A bunch of strikes by Drake. Attempts another suplex. That gets blocked into the kill switch for your winner and new NWA television champion, Bryan Idol. This was definitely a nice kickoff to Crockett Cup season. Definitely interested on seeing what comes next. But yeah, definitely a good first outing for the NWA on their new home of Roku. So yeah, pretty dang good episode of Power. And yeah, that's going to do it for me. I hope you all enjoyed. Monday I'm going to be covering AEW Collision and then WWE SmackDown. Then on Tuesday, going to be covering both nights of SummerSlam. So hopefully you guys stick around for that. Till next time, happy wrestling everybody. Peace.